think it's recycling week. What do we got here? I know what this is. It's always a good day when you get new shoes in the mail. These, oh yeah, my favorite shoes, my favorite trail shoes I've ever worn, and I'm so excited to tell you about them. What's up, everyone? Welcome to my walk-in closet. Today I've got a little bit different video coming at you. Today I'm going to do a shoe review. I just got these in the mail. I want to tell you about this shoe. This is my all-time favorite trail shoe that I've ever run in. I want to tell you all about it. As with any review that you see for a product on the internet, I highly recommend looking for the shoe that's right for you. Just because this shoe works for me doesn't mean that it's for everyone. But if you are interested in this shoe, I want to tell you how you can get it up to 50% off. That being said, I would love to hear what is your favorite shoe of all time. Maybe it's a shoe that is out on the market today, or maybe it's a model of shoe from years ago. My favorite trail shoe of all time is this shoe right here. This is the Nike Zegama. Okay, these are fresh in the mail, and the reason why I know this is my favorite trail shoe is because this is my third pair of Zegamas. Let's see. I've got the green. I really like this mint green. This is my first pair. I've been running in the black and white now. I've put over 500 miles on this pair of shoes, and then look at that. For comparison, here's the dingy, and then here's the fresh right out of the box. A little bit about my experience in trail running. I live in Boise, Idaho. I run about half of my runs up in the foothills. Half of my runs are out on the roads or on the Greenbelt. And I grew up running in Fairbanks, Alaska on trails. I did a lot of cross-country running. And when I first got into running, I wasn't using trail shoes. All that I knew how to use is I would use what's called like a daily trainer, like a regular like fitness shoe. And somewhere along the line, I had a friend he had an uncle who worked for Brooks, and so I think my first ever like trail shoe was the Brooks Cascadia. I had a pair of Salomon, that's like an aggressive tread trail shoe. And then for most of my trail running over the last few years, I've been running in Saucony. So this is the Saucony Peregrine. It's kind of like their flagship trail shoe. And one of the things, I really like this shoe. It's got a super aggressive tread. Saucony has a really good power track rubber, like huge lugs there. One of the things that I didn't quite realize is just how firm. I mean, like, look at this. It's almost like now a brick of concrete this midsole is. And I didn't really know what I was missing. I didn't know that I even wanted a softer midsole until, where's that other shoe? This is why I'm in the closet. I got to find all my shoes. So I was headed to the Philippines, and I wanted a shoe that wasn't quite as aggressive with lugs so that I could do some of my runs. I figured a lot of my runs were going to be on dirt roads over there. I wasn't sure if it was going to be concrete or dirt. And so I ended up at the Nike outlet store, and I got this. This is the Nike Pegasus Trail. You can see that the legs are actually, this is what's called a road to trail shoe. It's kind of a hybrid. And one of the first things I noticed about the Pegasus Trail 3 is just how squishy the midsole foam was. And so I took these to the Philippines and I ran some miles over there, and these were great for walking around, and we did some walking in the trails and hiking, that sort of thing. But what I found was when I got home and I was back in Boise, every time that I was going for a run, I would reach for the Pegasus Trail instead of the Peregrine. And it was just a matter of, man, I kind of wanted to go easy on my feet. I liked the cushion. I liked how plush these were. And so I found myself gravitating towards these. And then I heard about this new shoe that Nike had come out with, which of course is the Zegama. And the thing that caught my eye about the Zegama is it uses this ZoomX foam, which is their premier racing foam. I think technically the midsole is not 100% ZoomX. I think it's ZoomX encased in kind of a higher durability foam on the outside. This shoe has a 4mm drop from heel to toe, and it's not the lightest shoe around. It's 11.2 ounces in a men's 10, so my size will be a little bit lighter than that because I have a smaller foot. And this shoe, the thing I love about it is after running, literally I've put over 1,000 miles in Zegamas, and the thing that I would say I like the most about the Zegama is it's so fun. I mean, I don't know another shoe that gets that kind of bounce and that responsiveness when you're out on the trail. And I do most of my recovery days on the trail. Occasionally I will do some hill repeats. That's some of my only speed work I do when I'm out on the trails. But most of my runs are recovery runs. So I want something that's going to treat my legs nice, that's going to give me that comfort, that's going to give me that nice ride. And then it's going to be able to pick it up when I want to go fast. So I've actually raced in the Zegamas. I have done the Moab Trail Marathon. I've ran in the Boise foothills. I've ran in Utah. I've brought these shoes to Australia, right? I've ran all sorts of different trails, and I can say that this is my absolute favorite trail shoe that I have ever ran in. Like I said, it'd have to be for this to be my third pair. As far as fit goes, I know some people say that Nikes fit a little bit narrow, and that might be true of some of the road shoes. I found that to be true. I've tried running in the Pegasus before. I've tried the Vaporfly, and I've actually sent shoes back. The nice thing about Nike is they have really good customer service if you are a Nike member, which is a free membership. You can sign up online. They've always taken shoes back. There was even a time that a pair of shoes got lost in the mail, and I was having trouble getting the replacement pair, and Nike just covered the cost, even though it was actually the mail carrier that lost them. They covered the cost. So anyways, shout out to Nike. But these aren't narrow at all. These are, I would say, more of a standard width. I did find I went a half size down. I don't think it's because these shoes necessarily run long. You'd probably be fine going true to size. But for me, when I'm out on the trails, I want something that's really snug to my toes, so I'm not kicking rocks, that sort of thing. After 500 miles, you can see, if this is a fresh pair, look at the durability on this. It's still got a decent amount of tread. One of the things some people have kind of said about the Nike rubber is that they don't find it to be grippy enough. I don't necessarily think that's true. They did in the Zegama 2, which is why these are on sale right now. The new model is out. They added a Vibram outsole, which is super exciting. I'm sure it's better than this rubber. But here in Boise, we don't get a lot of moisture. We don't get a lot of rain. We have dry trails. Sand is mostly what we are running on. And I found these to have plenty of traction. The lugs to handle quite well. In fact, like the upper hasn't shown really any signs of wear and tear. The only thing, and there's a little bit of creasing on the midsole. The only thing I would say as far as durability goes is because the foam is a little bit more, it's a little bit lighter, it's a little bit less dense. I found that over time, I can tell after about 250 miles that the foam has compressed. It doesn't go completely dead and you're still fine to run on the shoes, but you're not getting that magic. You're not getting that bounce after about 250 miles. Like I said, I ran an extra 250 miles on these and they have done totally great. One of the things I don't necessarily like about the Zegamas is the upper is not super breathable. So for winter running, that's totally fine, right? Keeping your feet nice and warm and toasty. But especially in the hot summer months, I find that my feet sweat in these shoes quite a bit more than maybe the Peregrines. The Peregrines have, you can almost, I know these are black as well, but you can almost see through the mesh there, and these ones are just a little bit less breathable. And so what I found is they actually start to smell after a while. I don't think I have especially smelly feet, but I've found that my Zegamas, the upper on the Zegama, starts to smell a little bit. The foam compresses after, about that 250-mile mark. And then the only other dislike I have for these shoes is the price, okay? Shoe costs have been going up higher and higher, it seems, in recent years. And I think the retail price on the Nike Zegama is $160 or $170. That being said, I have not paid full price for a single pair of my Zegamas. And right now, the Zegama 2 is out, and so you should be able to pick up through Nike.com a pair of Zegamas for 30 to 50% off. There's even a code right now. Again, this is not an affiliate link or I don't get any benefit from this. Summer 25, there's an extra sale going on a lot of different models. One of the things you have to look for on Nike is some colors, some of the colorways will be discounted and other colorways won't. So I would encourage you, if you're at all interested, check out Nike.com, look at all the different colorways. If you don't care about the color, some of the colors that maybe aren't as good sellers, they're going to discount sooner than others. So if you're like, hey, color doesn't really matter, I just want a good quality shoe, then you should be able to pick up a pair of these. Few other things about the Zegamas. My brother was the same way as me last summer, where he was doing all of his trail running in daily trainers. And I had these shoes, and I said, man, Andrew, you have to pick up a pair of these shoes. And he didn't want to listen to me, so I went ahead and bought him a pair for his birthday last summer. And he was a little reluctant to try it at first. And here's what I can say about Andrew. Again, I'm not a doctor. This is not medical advice. But he had been dealing with pretty significant plantar fasciitis for months. And he started running in these shoes. And he said after a few weeks of running in these shoes that the fasciitis was virtually gone. I bought these shoes for my wife. She loved them. I've recommended them to everyone. So I don't know if I'm going to do a ton more shoe reviews. Go ahead and leave a like if you enjoyed content like this, if you enjoy hearing my thoughts, my perspectives on shoes. My all-time favorite trail shoe is the Nike Zegama. Once again, I would love to hear in the comments what's your all-time favorite shoe. And we'll see you here next time for more running content.